Rae Shine.
Hey there.
There it is. All right. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing all right. I was looking forward to this interview. So,
Yes,
yeah.
definitely.
All right. So, what is your website where everybody can find you?
Yes, well, if people actually still go to websites, I have my raeshine.com. That's RAESHINE.com. And please follow me at Miss Rae Shine, MSRAESHINE. And then, of course, on Apple, iTunes. I'm everywhere. YouTube.
Yes, you are pretty much everywhere. That is an
Thank you.
accurate
All right.
statement. So, love the music, blast the music. I've written some pretty good scenes, created some really cool clothing, listening to Light Up the Night. So I'm a happy camper. So
Awesome.
yes, absolutely. So just give the people a little bit of a background, just where you're from, how you got into music, that type of stuff.
Sure. So I'm from, Montgomery County, Maryland, Germantown to be exact,
Mhm.
Gaithersburg. And I mean, music's just been a part of my life ever since I was young. The influences from my parents and, of course, my friends and stuff like that. And I just grew up with musicians, my friends in bands. And, I just, my influences from rap and, some of the greats. And, I was just into poetry and stuff like that. So I started writing poetry when I was young, and then it morphed into like writing rhymes, and then from there and just more into more singing, and which I started out singing really young, but then I just developed more of it with my craft as like time kind of went along. Um, so yes, I just been doing music my whole life. I can't escape it.
So how did it get you to LA?
Said how did it get me to LA?
Yeah, how did you get you to LA from Maryland to LA?
Well, I mean, it's just if you pursue and you put hard work into your craft, and that's kind of the natural evolution. I think everybody ideally wants to, get, make it to LA and make it to New York and Atlanta and all these other places. So, we visited there a couple times, and are gonna do some more projects out there. I haven't moved out there quite yet, but you know, it's
Getting
in
it.
the works. It's in the works.
It's in the works. Excellent. So what are some of the inspirations for the music that you produce? I mean, you produce a plethora of music. I mean, it's astounding how many CDs, well, it's not CDs anymore, I'm old. What there's on Apple iTunes, I mean, there's got to be geez, at least four CD or four, I don't know if you call them CDs anymore. What do you call
We just call it like a project or an EP.
them? Okay. So
Yep.
you've got at least four of
Album.
them.
Yes.
Yeah. So talk about each of those, where you started and where you're at currently with that.
Sure. So, gosh, we had Vision Quest, we had The Awakening, Mental Motivation, Purple Harley. So, I did start out, I mean, and I'm still very faith based, but I did start out more just, I guess you could say like more very message driven, more like you could kind of call it Christian rap in a sense. And that's kind of where I started out. And then I kind of discovered that for me, that was just kind of a box. I wanted to talk about more worldly things, but still have a message. So over time, I've gotten more and more comfortable with, just, talk about what I'm going through and stuff like that, and not making it so like spiritually driven, but, the spirit's always driving me, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So yes, it started out kind of there, and then it went into like more like mental motivation, and then Purple Harley was just like, you know what, like I'm about to just have fun. I'm gonna ride motorcycles, and who cares, right?
Right,
Um,
absolutely.
so
So, are you still faith-based in your following, or is your following all the way around in every facet of life?
yes, it's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of like every age, I mean, people who like a little bit of everything, I would say, when I create, I like to have the person like feel something, right? So I feel like I want to like let it hit someone that's, not just like a church-based person, or not just like, hey, I just listen to positive music, but I mean, it's got a vibe, right? When I make music, I want to just make a vibe.
Right, and you definitely did that with my favorite song.
Yeah.
I love that song. I rock that song. I play that song pretty much every day. You know,
Oh,
it's a great song, and I love the ability to write to that, even though I haven't written in some time. But you know, I've been creating clothes to that. I got some great graffiti print listening to Light Up the Night. I really rocked it out. So, as in fashion, is music trendy? Like, do we have trends like dips and ups and downs that, you know, really it changes with the paradigm, or do you stay with really just a central core base and go out from there and branch? Or do you have to change your dynamic to meet the needs of the industry?
a little bit of both. I mean, honestly, as a good artist, I feel like you should go with whatever you're, however you're moved, right? Like
Hmm.
whatever's kind of just coming from you and what you like are inspired to create at that time. For me, like it's just never in one place, you know. Like I'm sometimes I'm like a Drake or like a Post Malone. It's like, you know, hey, or Drake will do like a bar heavy, you know, rap record, and then he'll like go do like a soca record, you know. So it's just, it kind of depends on how you're feeling. But for me, like I do think about my demographic, and sometimes I'll say, hey, I want to reach like the younger audience. Hey, I want to reach everybody, you know. And I'll think about these things like before I'm making, as I'm making the record, and you know, doing the video and stuff like that. Because I mean, you have to, like, that's, you know, marketing 101. You know, you don't want to frustrate your marketing company. Like, what the hell?
Sure. Yes, totally understand. So I've seen that you've got live shows. Let's talk about "Light Up the Night" because that's my favorite song.
Yes,
So
and I think
although
people are eager to hear it as well.
I think Purple was the whole CD, the whole catalog with "Light Up the Night" was I listened to that just on repeat. So like I'm doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Where did that come from,
Awesome.
and how did it transpire? Because you have another artist on there that's singing in Spanish.
Yes,
Um,
Tabiel.
Tabial, that's how you pronounce it.
Tabiel?
Tabiel.
Yes.
He's good too. I like him.
Yes.
So, where did that come from, and how did you really put that into words and make it as beautiful as it is?
Sure. Thank you. Well, I had created my first soca record, Enough, and featuring Krista Shield. Shout out Krista Shield. And I needed a follow up, and I just wanted to make another record that was kind of dancey, and you know, Latin music is, you know, worldwide. It's global, you know, and it's also got a vibe. You know, it's when you go into a club, it's like, you know, if you hear a little bit of like salsa, merengue, and all that stuff, that you know it's gonna be a good night. There's probably not gonna be any fights. You know, it's gonna be fun, right? You know, and so I was just like, I want to create this like mood, right? Create this experience, and as people are listening to the song, it feels like innocent, but it feels romantic. You know, it feels like love. It doesn't feel like lust, right?
That's
It feels like
fact.
that special moment, right, that you have when you connect with someone. So like a first date, or like that first feeling when you get those butterflies. So I was like, you know, I want to put all these things kind of together with it.
I'm just listening to the beat in my head. Unfortunately, my radio died. It's not been a
No,
good day. It has not been a good day. I planned on blasting "Light Up the Night," and that broke. The question is that came across: do you make your own beats?
no, I don't make my own beats. I have a lot of producers that I work with. Shout out Impala Beats, who made Light Up the Night. She is
Ooh,
incredible. She's from Russia.
okay.
And then Taviel Rich, he's from Cameroon.
Hmm.
And it was awesome how I bounced into him. I mean, I was, you know, I always tend to like challenge myself. I was like, how am I gonna like find someone who, you know, my producer, you know, my engineer, when they also call engineers producers if they give like advice on a record. So he was like, yeah, you think you should probably get like a guy on this. And I heard like the Spanish, but he's like, probably a guy. And I was like, where the hell am I gonna find a male Latin singer? So I mean, the dots just kind of connected, and you know, he just popped up out of nowhere. He had, you know, was one of my coworkers at the time, and he was like, "Hey, you know, I've got this record. I want you to be in my, you know, my video. Come do a cameo." And then he was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Wow!" I didn't even realize he was singing Spanish on his song. So I'm like, this is perfect. So it's just God connected all the pieces for sure.
Because it's definitely a song that brings spirituality into music. and it's got a beautiful beat. And I love it. I can't say how much I enjoy that song. The creativity I've produced in the last several weeks has been contributed to that. So if anybody's going to enjoy the anthology for Blood and Whiskey, know that half of that so far has been written by Rae Shine. So
Yes,
when
thank
you
you.
read that. So okay, nephew Tay screamed out Rae. So shout out to you. What's your favorite song? I know that's like asking a writer his favorite writer or her favorite writer, but what was your favorite song growing up?
Gosh, that's hard. Favorite song?
They get harder.
I
They
don't
get harder.
know. I have like so many influences. Like, oh, I can't even. I mean, we talking hip hop? Are we talking rap? Like, are we
Let's
talking?
talk your childhood when you were coming up doing a Christian-based rap.
Um, Gosh, you know, I probably couldn't even. I mean, I did listen to some Lecrae and some of that stuff. I mean, that was kind of like later on, but
Mhm.
like, he was kind of inspiring. He was definitely inspiring for sure, as far as like Christian rap goes.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I can't really name like just one song. Like my attention span sometimes is like I'll like something like a lot for like, and I'll listen to it over and over and over again for like a couple weeks, and then like I'm on to something else, you know.
Okay.
But I'll
Sure.
listen to like a few things, of course. But you know, if something really hits me, but you know, if you ask me who my favorite artist is now, I'd have to say like like Travis Scott and Drake, are my
Okay.
favorite artists now.
Okay. Do you listen to anybody with little in front of it or anything of that nature? That I'm out of the
Of course,
so
Lil Uzi. Some of his stuff is really good. He just dropped a project. Um,
little what?
Lil Uzi Vert.
Little Uzi. No, no. I'm those days are gone. Biggie and Pac. I rock you, and that's about the extent of my hip hop these days.
Well,
So
they're not
little,
hip hop. They're
little
they're new school.
oh, okay. So little Uzi, and then who else?
And this is new people, but I did
Mhm.
like work on a lot of Lil Wayne and stuff like that. You know, like all the Hot Boys, like I like Scarface, like all the old hip hop. Like if you're talking about hip hop and stuff, like I mean Wu Tang, I mean Mobb Deep, I
No,
mean
not now. So you're going my direction.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's so many different genres of like inspiration. Like I mean, I'll even mess around and listen to EDM sometimes, and then of course I'll listen to Romeo Santos randomly, like so it just
Okay.
depends on my mood for
Okay.
sure.
So we've tried to talk about your favorite song. We'll come back to that. So your favorite musician, and let's go with rap. Let's go with what do they call it? Mumble rap now? Is that what they call that? What is that known as? Mumble rap? Is
Yeah,
that the
I guess
okay?
it used to. They used to kind of call it that, but like the DMV has kind of like a like mumble rap a little bit sound. It's very choppy. It's not a lot of breaths in between each bar. It's like they just keep going.
Okay.
And it's okay. I mean, I like some of the artists for sure. You know what I mean? Like, they got Zan Man and a couple of them, a couple others, but there's a lot of them coming up. But that's kind of like the DMV sound. But it's not necessarily like my thing. I definitely like more harmonies. I kind of like melodies and harmonies, like things that really inspire my ears. Like sometimes it's if it's just a lot of rapping and it's not a lot of like I said harmonies, and it can kind of give me a headache after a while. But no, don't get me wrong, it's still a vibe. It's still like what I mean, because that's what it's about. It's just mostly about the beat. Like people aren't focusing as much to the words, you know. So that's just the style now. But yeah, so I mean, like I said, my favorite artist now would be like Drake, Travis
Did you see
Scott.
the comment?
Huh?
Did you see the comment?
He looked like a mature Eminem. Hey, that's awesome.
Thank you so much. Pervading
Yeah,
at nightlife.
please check out Purple Harley.
Yes.
For the person who asked it, you just went through. Let's see.
That's Buddha Films.
Yes, yes. Please check out Purple Harley. That's my latest project, but I'm about to be dropping a new song soon called Another Weekends. So it's gonna be fire for sure.
I definitely recommend Light Up the Night. That is a beautiful song, and you should definitely check that out. Was that on Harley?
Yes, it should be on Purple Harley, or it's like an addition, but it's that the single's definitely there for sure.
I know. I rock
Oh,
that
I
on a
know.
regular. I rock that on a regular. So,
Thank you.
yes, I am a pure looking Eminem. However, Marshall is 7 years older than I am, and I much appreciate that. That's a
He's 7 years
confidence
older
booster.
than you.
He's 7 years older than I am.
Oh
I'm
wow.
40. He's 47.
Oh okay. He's like, okay,
Okay.
you're right. I am not 50 yet.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a confidence booster I needed. I'll go cry in my cereal later. Can you write all the time, or do you think that when the muse hits you, it hits you, or can you be at like a car dealership and all of a sudden something springs into your head when you're getting the oil change?
All the above. Like I try to make sure that I force myself to write like at least like every couple days, right? Sometimes it'll be way too long. Sometimes it'll be a month or two, and I'm kicking myself like, why has it been so long? But when I'm in the zone, like, and I'm in that artistic place, then like I could get inspired for like 10 different subjects. You know what I mean? It's like a place that like as an artist you just like come to because it's like you're just open. You're not focused on like the stresses of like the day. You're just like, you're in that creating zone. So I mean, it can happen at any moment. I could be listening to another song and I'm like, oh, I like that concept, or okay, that's a new wave because they talking about this a lot. I've noticed that's like the new thing that people are talking about. So it could be my brain is always working.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The muse shows up. So the question
Yes.
I have for you is: you started on you started in Christian rap.
Mm-hmm.
And then you branched out. And how old were you? What were you very young when you did Christian rap, or were you starting to cross over from your teens into your early 20s, or when did that take place?
Yeah, yeah, it was about there. Yeah, about
Okay.
like, yeah, like probably like the early 20s. Yeah, early
Okay.
20s.
Someone just asked if you pre-write. Yeah, we've got a lot of questions coming in. Hang on. Do you freestyle or do you pre-write your lyrics?
Both. So like when you have like a concept, you kind of like freestyle it in your head, right? And then like you kind of freestyle it as like you're writing. But I'm not like a, backpack rapper that, is just super good at freestyling. Like that just kind of never really happened for me.
Sure.
I can again like as I'm doing concepts, I'll be like, oh, I'll hear the cadence and I'll kind of keep freestyling it, and I'm like, okay, the next line comes, okay, the next line comes, okay, that has, and I'll just kind of write that way, but not as far as like just like like bar for bar freestyle battle rapping. Nah, I'm more of a
No,
composer for sure.
not your thing.
No,
I'm not
and
ignoring you, Ray. I'm trying to scroll these comments because they're going to keep flying.
uh-huh.
Okay. What other female artists do you compare yourself to? Or have,
So
have you been compared to? My apologies.
have I been compared to? Of course, like because there aren't a lot of white female rappers. Like I've heard of Iggy before. I would say our styles are completely different,
That's
and we don't even look alike. But again, because we're both white girls, and there hasn't been a lot of successful white female rappers, then of course they'll say, "Oh, you remind me of Iggy," or what's the other one, Chanel West Coast. They'll say, "Oh, you remind me of Chanel West Coast." I do like Chanel West Coast, and I do like some of Iggy stuff, but I'd say our styles are completely different. You know what I mean? And I support and pay homage to hip hop and all of my forefathers and sisters. You know what I mean? That's another subject. But
okay. So, would you
don't
be
offend
interested?
nobody. Don't offend the culture.
Yeah, I get it. Pervidia Nightlife asked, would you be interested in doing a Spanish English song? Check
Yeah,
out Light Up the Night.
absolutely. I actually will do one very soon. I have an artist, a female Latina singer, and we're gonna probably work on something very soon. It's gonna be dope.
Okay, Excellent. There is a comment, your skin looks good, Ma.
Thank you. I think that was Marsha. Hey, boo.
Okay, so we know each. Okay, so how do you fight through a writer's block if you get them?
Writer's block, if I get it, everybody gets it. But I would say, I mean, just don't force it at that moment. You know, if it's not coming, it's not coming. Like, what's funny is like I heard this story about like Kanye West, and I think he was working with Puff Daddy, and he had given him the record or whatever, and like was like here, expecting him to work on it at that moment. He left him, and then came back hours later, and he's like watching a movie, like kicked up, and he's like, "What the hell, man?" He's like, "Man, the inspiration hasn't happened yet." So like you can't force it. So yeah, I'll just watch something inspiring, or read something inspiring, or watch or read something inspiring. That's definitely what helps. For
Okay.
sure.
I think somebody asked, can you give a sample? I don't know if you have any music laying around. I know if I alternate my phone, it will shut off. This is the night. So
So you are unable to play, right?
that is true. I apologize. I just
That,
literally got home like 10 minutes ago.
no, it's okay. I just gotta turn this on. You just have to give me 1 second, okay?
Okay, please.
Talk to
Thank you.
people. Uh-huh.
My bad, guys. I was supposed to have a video ready to go, and unfortunately, my radio player died. So here we are. So just 1 second. She'll be right back with the music.
And you want to play Light Up the Night, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Rae Shine, come on. Light up the night.
I'll say one duty. I know you're walking, I'm curious. You getting close, getting dangerous. You ask my name, and you ask the nuts. Feel my heart beats, this is too much. Say yeah, I can show you the lifestyle. Right now, just come close. Feel my hands touch your pure rose. That's all, man, you love me. Love the way it feels when you touch me. Yeah, I work hard for the money. I'm with you, I'm so lucky. That's all, man, you love me. Love the way it feels
It's a
when you
great
touch
song.
me. Yeah, I work hard for the money. When I'm with you, I'm so lucky. Light up the night. Push the lighters up and light up the night. Yes, I can. Light up the night.
Yes.
Push the lighters up and light up the night. I got a lot of options like a car lot. I ain't seen common real flat spot. Full sky season walk like an afterthought. You get me high, I'm an astronaut. The light you do to me. Make me fall up so easily. See it in your eyes, so believe me. You were so lost when you came to me. That's my man, you love me. Love the way it feels when you touch me. Yeah, I work hard for the money. I'm with you, I'm so lucky. That's my man, you love me. Love the way it feels when you touch me. Yeah, I work hard for the money. When I'm with you, I'm so lucky.
Light Up the Night by Rae Shine. I love that song. I think it's absolutely inspiring, and I think that it has done some really good work for me over the last several weeks. So I'm grateful that I found you on Mother Magazine.
Yes. Shout
So
out to the magazine.
how did you find her, or did she find you?
She found me from the female cipher that we did. It was well, we did a challenge. We did the Don't Rush challenge, and she found me, and with the other girls. I'm not sure which lady she found me through, but she contacted me through that. So it was awesome. Very nice lady.
Awesome. Yes, I actually did an IG little video of me singing that, but it didn't ever see the light of day. So,
Oh,
so I was in the car singing it, and then I don't know what happened, but it was pretty good. I thought I was singing maybe an octave lower than you, but I was singing. So, in your opinion, do you see that music has changed in the time that you've been doing it to currently? You've been in the game for how long?
I've been in the game consistently for like probably like 5, 6 years, but again, been doing music on and off like my whole life. But consistently is like a job, like this is my main focus, about 6 years. So it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And, to answer your question, yes, music has definitely changed a lot. And like, I would say every decade, it, completely changes for sure. And even every 5 years, even every year, every month. But drastic changes like every 10 years for sure. But yeah, it's definitely a lot different than it used to be, but there still are some aspects, that we haven't lost, and they kind of get recycled and sampled into current music. Like now there's a lot of like 90s sampling, even No Guidance, that huge record last year with Chris and Drake, was like 90s sample, so it's a lot of that happening, and music is always going to kind of recycle, and just people aren't as into lyrics, they're more into like melodies and stuff now. And it's funny that like I want to say like I almost want to call it like emu rap sometimes. It's like rock rap fusion now, which is kind of cool actually. They have that, and then they have some of the happier stuff, which is still kind of like a fusion like that. So I mean, I think like you have to just be open-minded, and like, hey, let me just see what the trends are, where music is going, and then kind of just go with it, instead of just kind of being stuck at where you feel like it should stay. Because that's not really, because it is, art is always going to be fresh, right? It would be boring if everything stayed the same.
True, very true, very true. And I think literature has changed over the decades as well. It's not something nobody's writing like Chaucer anymore. So
Yeah.
yeah, if we were, there would be a problem. So the question I have is, you were in Christian rap in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
yet you are in a purple sequin dress on the cover of Mother Magazine. Is that your style even as coming up in Christian rap? Because that seems to be more of a
No,
uh, no,
no, I
no.
was so conservative and like, tomboyish in some ways, and I still am. It's a little, still a little conservative, still more like tomboyish, I guess you could say. But, you know, it's like I definitely started out kind of like, oh, I don't even want to cuss, and I want to, not really talk too much about sex stuff, and but I'm like, the more comfortable you are with like yourself, you're just like, what, if this is who I am, like I shouldn't have to censor myself, right?
Sure.
So it's like, and then you look at like what else is going on, and you're just like, I'm always gonna, on the scale of 1 to 10, I'm always gonna be like a 4. I'm not gonna be as explicit as a Cardi B or a Nicki Minaj, but I might give you a little bit of, their kind of energy, but I'm just not gonna be as explicit, right? I'm gonna be a little bit more toned down, because I just don't think that you should give everybody everything, because as a woman, that's what's hard as a woman. That's another thing that makes you be more reserved, is because the attention that you get when you put yourself out there sexually, which sex sells, and maybe I would have been, in a situation a long time ago, if I was like super out there, right? But it's like once you do that, it's no coming back, and then you're getting like, unwanted messages. You're getting like, unwanted attention. Really, you want the attention because you want people to like buy, but really, it's females who buy music. It's guys who look. So you got all these creepy guys, and it's like, what, do I really want all that? Like. So it's, it's tough, man. It's tough. So, but at the same time, it's like, I know I feel sexy. I'm a girl. I want to feel sexy. I want to feel woman, right? Like, fuck what everybody thinks. I'm me, right? So, but you have to get to that point, and I feel like I'm kind of more there now. But, it's confidence also. Like, women have a confidence thing. So, so as like the years have gone by, I've just gotten more and more confident in like how I want to sound, finding myself. Like, you'll be amazed at how long it takes you to find your sounds. What works for you that you're just not, because you never want to copy off of anybody, right? You want to be original.
Yes.
So it's a process, man, but you just got to enjoy it. You got to enjoy it.
The shirt I'm wearing was created listening to Light Up the Night.
Yes. Oh, can I see it?
Yeah. It's got the old logo because it changed, but yeah, like literally like that logo and like the arms, and I got it on the back, and I was just grinding out Light Up the Night. And I put like 12 patterns out.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I love that song.
Dancing and creating. Now I can see you just light up.
Yeah, I'm just kind of rocking. I don't have your rhythm. As somebody said, I look like a retired Eminem. So those days, that ship had sailed, and that's okay. That's all right.
He said I'm mature.
Huh? I'm mature. Yes, I'm mature. That's a good way of saying I'm old.
It's just the hat. No, it's the hat.
It's the hat. Well, I'm balding, so there's no way the hat is coming off. Oh, D. Lewis is on. Oh, Four Lifers Magazine, Goonrich is on. I know Gemma Magazine has showed up. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Chronicles. Ooh, wait.
Hey.
That's my sound, if you've never tuned in. I make ooey sounds. So I think everybody is going to be loving these 11 rapid fire questions. Are you prepared?
I am.
All right.
Just so everybody knows, he did not prepare me with what these questions were going to be. So
nobody ever gets prepared. One must, Dee and Soy Lewis from the Urban Green Room actually did their own. They did their spouses like answers. So I got Dee on the chopping block. So that was awesome.
Nice.
Yes. Are you prepared?
I am. Let's go.
All right. To everybody that regularly tunes in, this is the 11 rapid fire questions. Let's go with your favorite color.
My favorite color would be purple.
Purple. Yeah. Got some good shoes on there. Let's see. Long nails or short nails?
Shorter nails.
Shorter nails. Okay. Favorite sports team and sport?
Favorite sports team? I'm not super into sports, but I have to go with the home team, the Redskins. They give me a heart attack, but I got to support the home team.
Okay, you're born and bred for the Redskins. Again.
Yes.
All right. So the best way to write your music, would that be on a laptop, running down the street, jumping jacks, or on the couch?
Definitely laptop.
Definitely laptop.
Yep.
We're going laptop. Okay. Let's see. Favorite food.
Favorite food would be like Greek or like Mediterranean. Oh my God, it's so good.
Okay.
Salmon.
Got some
salmon. Give me some salmon.
Yes, I love it. I love eating goat. So let's go with dogs, cats, or chia pets.
Cats, for sure.
Somebody actually said
I love all animals.
Somebody said chia pet once. But in their defense, they've been smoking. So, so what did you always want to be growing up?
I wanted to be an Olympian.
An Olympian. That's an original answer.
I know, right? As when I was super young, I wanted to be in the Olympics for gymnastics, and but I had an injury and it like prevented me from continuing gymnastics. It was a really bad injury, but then I was like, oh, I want to be a DJ, And then it was like, no, definitely music. Definitely like use my voice.
Okay. Were you in the choir in high school?
I was. Yep.
Awesome.
Elementary school. Yep.
Okay. Scrimps or scrampies?
Definitely shrimp.
Okay. Got it. Favorite vacation spot, Ray?
I haven't been there yet, but I want to go to Dubai, like Turks and Caicos, and you know, some place like that. That's the dream right now.
Mine is Gaithersburg. Just joking.
You're not missing anything if you never go there.
I'm not. I drive through there all the time.
Nice.
Favorite flower?
Favorite flower would be the lotus flower, probably.
That's an original answer.
Yes.
Kawan Foy wrote one of the greatest books ever called Black Lotus. I suggest you check that out.
I will.
So,
I will check it out.
do you write your lyrics to Irish folk music?
Have I ever? No, I haven't. I
Okay,
haven't.
just
But
check.
hey, there's some epic movies that have Irish folk music in it, right?
There are. Braveheart being one of them. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations. You have passed the 11 rapid fire questions.
Thank you. That wasn't too hard. Thank you.
No, I'm not going to ask you the square root of 9 million.
You didn't ask me if I was an alien or anything crazy. So
My people wouldn't enjoy that. They would. So, in your opinion, your music is changing. Your samples on Apple and Spotify. What is the Apple and Spotify moniker, the handle that they would find you under? Would it just be Rae Shine?
Rae Shine. So RAE and then SHINE. Yep, Rae Shine.
And Light Up the Night is one of my favorites.
Yes.
In fact, I will play it tonight on our way to the park when we walk. I love that song. So, do you see a situation that you and I are both Caucasian and we are both in a predominantly African American community in our work? Do you see that that's a issue for you to overcome, or is that something that's just it is what it is, and nobody sees you any different?
Well, I've asked that question many times over the years, and
You're not the only one.
I know, and yeah, I get a lot of love, and it's never an issue, locally, I guess you could say. But once you're out there with people who don't know your story, don't know why you're doing what you're doing, they might just think that you're doing it for attention or just doing it because you can or whatever. Battery was like 20% left, but anyway, but yeah, it's once you get out there, people who don't know you, the internet trolls or whoever, I mean, it can happen. You're going to get that no matter what. But there is also the whole elephant in the room that like people of color are more and more supporting their own now, and in general, and so sometimes it's like, why are we going to support this white girl when why aren't we supporting somebody of our own, right? So like if someone getting behind you and necessarily putting money behind it and stuff like that, like people are hesitant sometimes because they'll get backlash from their community, like, hey, like, why aren't you supporting such and such or such and such? She doesn't need help. They automatically assume just because I'm white that I've got this, and this, when in reality, I've had to work very hard for, everything I've done, like, I'm sure that I've had some things that have been easier, but I've had a lot of challenges in my life, that I've had to overcome. And one day I'll talk about those more, but, right now I want to focus more on the music, but yeah, so you get that sometimes, but overall, like, everybody's super supportive because they know, like, it's vibes, and I'm about love and, healing and stuff like that. I'm a healer. So I try to put good energy into everything I do. So it always comes back.
And then that's why you're on the show. This is a positive message show. I would not have somebody on here being like, burn the world to the ground. I'm depressed. I couldn't do that. Yes, I believe Gunrich said he thinks he loves you. LOL. So,
Thank you.
okay. All right. Go listen to Light Up the Night. So, in where you're at, where do you see your career taking off in the near future? Do you see it kind of taking a different direction than you had anticipated, or do you see it going into a larger spectrum? You already have 11,000 followers on Instagram. It's not like you have one. So obviously there is a support base that is looking for you to sing and to rap. Where is it that you see your career trajectory going?
Well, just getting, just like, getting bigger and bigger and going more global, and, you know, um, getting that, that big machine behind me. A lot of people say, oh, I want to stay independent. Like, no, you don't. I think ideally you should know what you're signing. You should have like your own kind of independent, you know, management agreement or whatever it is, right? And then probably your own like LLC, and, own all of your masters and, things like that. But ideally, like, everybody wants to have that marketing machine behind them, with a, signed deal and all that stuff. And we've been working on some stuff. We're on hold a little bit because of COVID-19, but I'm always working, so I'm definitely looking forward to having that backing, and I anticipate that in the next year or so, or less than a year. And yeah, hey man, like, I'll be coming to the Philippines, and y'all got fans out in the Philippines that have been begging me, like, when are you coming when are you coming to concert? Like, so I just can't wait, man. I can't wait.
And that brings me to my next point. You played the Fillmore.
Yep.
Tell the people about the Fillmore. It's not an easy place to play. You got to have talent to join in the Fillmore.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Fillmore was actually pretty easy. Like, I would say, one of my shows that I was probably the most nervous for was, performing at Echo Stage, and we opened up for Rick Ross, and my butterflies were like, going crazy. Like, here's this, I had like my whole team on stage with me, but here's this white chick, you know what I mean, on the stage, and like, we're talking about the boss, Rick Ross, like his fan base, but they showed us love, and I've never been booed off stage, you know what I mean? Like, I've been in front of thousands of people, probably 3,000-4,000 the most, so far, and I've never been booed off stage. People have always shown love, so that feels good. You know what I mean? Like, you're always gonna have those butterflies. It's gonna feel crazy, but that one was crazy. And we opened up for DMX and the Locks in Connecticut, and I opened up for Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, their fans don't play around, right? So you had to come with it. So yeah.
Does DMX actually talk like that?
Yes, he does. Like, he has so much energy. He was jumping up on top of the speakers. Like, I thought he was gonna crowd surf, but. I was like, what if this guy is like, he has so much energy. I'm like, yo, like, I hope it's not drug induced, but that's neither here nor there.
So how many times a year do you traditionally play concerts?
It depends. It depends on the year, but I'll say probably like, hopefully, ideally you're performing like every couple months, right? If it's locally. Because you don't want to oversaturate, you don't want to make yourself too accessible, if that makes sense. Like, oh, I just seen her last month, you know what I mean? So it's like, you want to, kind of build the anticipation, so, and then that's when, like, artists will go, go out on a tour and start hitting every city and stuff like that.
Have you heard of the Norva in Norfolk?
Norva?
Yeah. So Norva is down in Norfolk, and basically it is it's a independent club, and usually it's the up and coming hip hop artists, and usually, if they're lucky like me, Blues Traveler will come on stage because they're 25 years old, so they get to play the Norva. And so it's not a big house, but it's a big house to get introduced, because then, like Green Day plays Old Dominion University.
Nice.
So Norva usually has front bands that open for those type of guys. So it's called Norva.
Okay. I think I've heard of them. Mm-hmm.
The Norva. So
my parents met in Norfolk.
Okay, all right.
That was stationed there, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you should look up the Norma, because as soon as COVID ends, I know they're going to be booking bands.
Yeah.
And it would be nice for you to play Virginia. That would be a small commute and down here, so that would be great.
Definitely. Yeah, I've done a couple shows out there. I did one, what was that, Fairfax? I mean, it's Upper Virginia, but when I did a show with Inspector Deck and like I think it was Fairfax.
Mm-hmm.
So we've
Yeah.
been around, man.
Yes. Yes, I am fully aware of that. We have about 15 minutes left. Let's talk about upcoming projects, where everybody can find you. Let's just blast your social media and everything.
Yes, definitely. So I have another record that's coming soon. It's called Another Weekend, and I'm going to be shooting a video for it. So it's but it is going to be available on like iTunes, Spotify, and all that good stuff very soon. I just have to create the cover. So I just literally dropped it and finished recording it or getting mixed yesterday. So it's very fresh. So I have, I'm working on just, a bunch. I have a couple records that are coming out pretty soon once this whole situation kind of like calms down a bit. That I worked with a big time producer on. And then, so I just have like a whole project coming very soon, which I haven't named yet. But that will be coming very soon. But just right now I'm just creating, just doing a lot of creating. But everybody can follow me, please, at Miss Rae Shine. It's MSRAESHINE on Instagram, YouTube, on Facebook, Rae Shine 1 on Twitter. But I will be changing that. And so I'm everywhere, man. iTunes, Spotify. Please, check me out.
Excellent. So I had the question, when you hit over 40, if you ain't writing it down, it's gone. So we're going to move on. If you had a favorite song to pick of yours, which would it be?
You asked me that earlier, and I would say my favorite song right now, and it is like older. So it's not too much older. I guess it's from like 2018, but it would be Travis Scott's Stargazing.
No, your own work.
Oh, my own work. Okay. My own work. Gosh, how do I have a favorite song that's my own? I don't know, man. That's tough. My favorite song used to be on my first project was probably, what was it, Savages? Savages was probably one of my favorite ones.
That was a good one.
The original song that I did before I had to like redo it because it had a Disney sample on it. But but that was like one of the first songs that I did that like gave me chills. And whenever I make a song, I try to do that. That like I actually can like listen to it outside of myself, and I'm like, whoa, I feel it. Like the tingling sensation, and I'm like, whoa, this is insane. But that was probably the first one that like hit me like that, and then a lot of them have since then.
I mean, you're an amazing artist. I don't think that there's okay. So Val from Brown Sugar Reads, what's the song you tell people to listen to first?
It's my favorite. Listen to what's the name? I can't think of the song. It's on my Purple Harley project. Go Hard. Listen to Go Hard. It's definitely got a nice vibe. It's a nice like melodic kind of song. But
yep.
I've heard my favorite ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I play Purple Harley basically on repeat.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, I just loop it.
Oh my gosh,
you'd be surprised.
New stuff. Like that was like me like experimenting with a new sound. Like wait till you hear this new stuff. Oh my gosh. Like wow.
All right, good. I'm looking forward to the new stuff.
Yeah.
So what platform are you on the most with interacting with your support base?
Definitely probably like Instagram and Facebook for sure. So yes, definitely, everybody, follow my fan page on Facebook, and definitely like on the gram a lot for sure. Okay,
on the gram is the new way of saying it. I got it. Right. I'm with you. I'm hipping to the deal. I'm hipping
in. You're hip.
So do you really find that when you go out, do you have to have a bodyguard when you actually perform, and
you have to have a bodyguard? Absolutely. I definitely have my guys around me, my team. Thank you. Shout out Lucky Seven, shout out Tricky Dice, Mr. West Austin, and of course all my girls, my stylist, the Makeup Repair LLC, and gosh, Nisi and Kim, and then Nisi, and my other dance instructors and dancers, and then I have my videographers. So I mean, I probably have like a crew, like probably about 10 people, at least, that are like staff and performers and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll have like someone like Brian will probably be like our watch out, or we'll have like another security, someone who's acting as security for sure. Is definitely always important because you never know if someone puts something in your drink. Unfortunately, I will admit that I've had that happen. Luckily, nothing happens, but it was definitely scary.
Sure, sure.
So
So do you actually have a private security firm that goes in there and moves people out of the way when you're coming out of the club, that everybody's trying to get an autograph or a picture, or they get too close to you? I mean,
if we have in-house people, yes.
okay.
Yep.
And then their job is to detract from the people that are trying to literally grab on you because they feel some kind of way about the music, or if they could just reach out and touch you to say, oh wow, I've actually, I actually reached out, and now that kind of crazy.
I luckily not. I haven't quite had too much of that, but I have had guys that are just that have tried to like you said, grab on you and touch you a little bit too long, and then it starts to be where it's more than just, oh, you did a great job, and then it starts to go into they're trying to get your number and all this other kind of stuff. And right, so it's like, hey, okay, all right, cool, we're leaving, or that's enough, or
Appreciate it.
yeah, so
that's kind of creepy. I finally got on Facebook and a bot hit me up. I felt I was left out until the bot hit me up and said, hey, my mans. And I was like, just like you're looking right now. And I was like, do you need to say hello, man? Or she's like, hello, handsomes. I was like, oh, you're a bot. Cool. I didn't know. I feel I've been accepted. This is great. I was looking, because I feel like I've officially arrived when the bot hits on you. That's a special feeling. Facebook seems to be pretty good for that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Facebook is now kind of like a dating site or something. It feels like they just keep trying to like, encourage you to, be friends with this person or that person. And next thing you know, you accept the friend request, and then they're in your inbox, and you're like, I knew it.
Yeah, I always come out with the, hey, I'm DB Bray from the Chronicles. I'm never being like, hello, and then waiting for you to respond. I come straight with the facts, and I am not a stalker.
Professional. But, there's other people who are on there for that reason. They want to holler, whatever. So
I get it. It doesn't happen to me, but that's okay. I'm a mature Eminem, as somebody so eloquently put it earlier.
I mean, well, hey, if that's what you're looking for, I mean, it might start happening more often, but
Don't need that drama or smoke at all. Now there is there is in the genre that I write in crime fiction, there is a guy named Jay Deck, and we both are originally from Worcester, Massachusetts, and they call him the Eminem of urban fiction. So I'm going to have him on the show, and we're going to do a little battle rap there.
Nice.
See who does the better sentence structure.
Okay.
Yeah, writers really go hard. We're like battle rappers in private. Maybe.
Right, because it's all about the the subjects and how you're forming your story, right?
Right, and I think that I've been asked the question you've been asked, and for me, I just I understand why the question's asked. I just don't see why the question's asked, because my work should speak for itself. It shouldn't matter. I'm not trying to appropriate any culture. I'm just writing. And the fact of the matter is when I was writing fantasy in the white genre, I got zero love. One guy, Bishop O'Connell, was the only one that took the time to speak to me. In urban fiction, or quote unquote urban fiction, every single writer that I have met in urban fiction has been absolutely lovely to me.
That's awesome.
So why would I ever leave that community?
You know, and then that's the other thing with Christian rap too. And again, like, you know, again, for anybody who's, you know, that's their thing, awesome. But it's hard to get the support of the church. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
you would think it would be easy, but it's not. Like, you have to kind of be with a church you've been with for a long time. And even then, like, you know, who knows what their prerequisites are for, you know, how they want you to sound. Hey, we're not going to support rap. Maybe we'll just support singing, or, you know what I mean? It's like so much politics. And
Sure.
so, you know, I'm just, and I'm also not as like church based anymore in general. Like, I'm way more like spiritual now. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
I you know, do my experience with God and spirituality on my own terms. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Rather than someone else saying it has to be this and that and this. It's like, I'm moved how I'm moved because I know I'm moved with the Spirit. You know?
Right.
And you know, so it's like, but yeah, exactly. So, you know, however you're moved, and, you know, I've always had friends that have been different, you know, nationalities and races, and I don't know, I just kind of always end up going to parties and I was the only white girl, you know. It's just like kind of just
It
happened
happened.
that way, right? So
What are
it's
you
of
going to
course
do?
going to be influenced by, you know, I guess you could say, you know, Black culture, right?
Mhm.
But I mean, I'm also influenced by, you know, I guess you could say white culture, but I mean, I don't know if you could really just put a color, a race on it. I feel like music is supposed to, or art is supposed to inspire everybody, right?
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely. We have about 2 minutes left, Ray. I don't want to
Yes.
cut you off.
Mhm.
Quickly, do you play any instruments?
I do not, but I am gonna be learning the piano. I think that's gonna be happening soon.
Cool. Cool.
Yes.
So I know I'm going to get a million requests to have you back on. So hopefully we can do that after your new music drops, and we can get another live going and get some more
Okay.
people rocking and rolling.
Yes,
So
definitely. Thank you so much
excellent.
for having me. I really appreciate you taking the time and your interest. Thank you so much.
Not a problem at all. I'll be in touch, okay?
Yes, definitely. Enjoy.
All right. We'll talk to you soon, Red.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so that was Rae Shine. You can see at the bottom of the screen here at Miss Rae Shine. That's her Instagram. She's on Facebook. She is on, she's pretty much everywhere. Spotify. Check out Light Up the Night. You won't regret it. Taviel and Rae Shine, and they did a combo of this, and it's really, really good. So check that out. Purple Harley is the CD that it's on. And I appreciate everybody tuning into the Chronicles. Tomorrow night we have Gemma Magazine from Los Angeles, California, fashion editor. So that's going to be huge. And then on Saturday night I have Baby Savage out of Louisiana. So we are closing down here in the final seconds, but everybody knows that my DM is open. If you need to talk, talk. And if you don't, I understand. But you know what? You can get one of these at the ooh-wee chronicles.kidcustom.com. Ooh-wee!